In my last video, I went over obsessive compulsive disorder and my experience of it, along with some tips that might help. And in this video, I'll be going over my experience of social anxiety. A lot of times people think of social anxiety as just fear of social situations, and while that's not necessarily wrong, it's too broad, and it doesn't really get to the heart of the matter. Put succinctly, social anxiety is an excessive fear of being negatively judged by others. Obviously, no one likes it when they're judged by someone else, but people with social anxiety are so concerned with what other people think of them that they can experience debilitating anxiety just thinking about other people negatively judging them. I personally have plenty of experience with social anxiety, and one example would be playing soccer. See, I would get deathly nervous before every soccer game because I was so consumed with thoughts about impressing my coach, impressing my other teammates, and even a lot of times impressing just the people in the stands. And the unfortunate thing is that I was so consumed with all of these thoughts that it was oftentimes pretty hard to actually focus my thoughts on the game itself, and that could result in me even playing worse. But as anyone with social anxiety can tell you, that seems to be a pretty common thing. You're so focused on doing something perfectly that you actually end up doing worse on it than you normally would have. Another example, which seems to be pretty common among people with social anxiety, is that for the longest time, I hated going on the phone and talking to someone to set up an appointment or get some information, because I was always really critical at myself and thinking that I would say something stupid or make myself look bad or like I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, those were examples of more performance-based anxieties, but a large part of social anxiety has nothing to do with making yourself look good or making yourself look competent. Many times, people's social anxiety is expressed through worrying about what others think of their looks, personality, interests, and stuff like that. They worry that they'll come across as too ugly, or too boring, or too nerdy, or they worry what other people will think of their taste in music, or what games they like, or what movies they like, and all of that kind of stuff. I can completely relate to this as well. I've been incredibly anxious about explaining my hobbies or pastimes to other people, and I've been anxious about what other people will think of my little quirks or my sense of humor. Everybody experiences this at some point or another, but people with social anxiety experience this in any situation where they could possibly be judged by others. The good thing is that social anxiety is extremely treatable. With some other anxiety disorders, the goal of treatment is just to learn how to better cope with the anxiety that you have. But with social anxiety, it's not unreasonable for a treatment goal to be just completely getting over your social anxiety. I can say from personal experience that I've gotten way better when it comes to social anxiety. Though there are multiple avenues you could take when trying to improve social anxiety, in my opinion, they all revolve around one central fact. This fact is undoubtedly something you've heard before, probably several times, but for some reason, people with social anxiety just can't seem to fully absorb or grasp it. So here's the fact. It doesn't matter what other people think of you. Now, when you hear something over and over again, it tends to lose its meaning. So I'll say it again. It does not matter what other people think of you. I don't know why it's so hard for some people to grasp it, but it is, and I know that it is because for the longest time, I was one of those people. But seriously, if you have social anxiety, I want to challenge you. Take 1 minute, 60 seconds, and try and think of one reason why other people's opinions of you matters. Take 1 minute and think of a reason why someone thinking that you're ugly, or that you're nerdy, or that you're weird in any way matters whatsoever. Perhaps you think, well, it matters because maybe they wouldn't want to be my friend, or maybe they won't like me. Congratulations! You've just committed the fallacy of circular reasoning. You see, the thing you were trying to prove was that others' opinions of you matter, and as proof of that, you said that they might not like you, which is itself an opinion that that person has about yourself. So the only way that can act as proof is if you already believe that others' opinions of you matter. But that's the thing that you're trying to prove. So I'll ask you one more time to think. Come up with one good, non-circular reason why others' opinions of you matter. There are none. But if there is no good reason to think it's true, then why do you keep acting like it is true? You've probably heard the expression, you do you, and that's kind of the point. Instead of just being anxious and concerned with what other people think about you and your interests and what you look like and all that, just go out and be yourself. If you love anime, go out and watch anime. And if anyone asks you what you like to watch, tell them you love to watch anime. If you love to play Dungeons and Dragons and cosplay with others, then go out and play Dungeons and Dragons and cosplay with others. And if anyone asks you what you like to do, tell them you love to play Dungeons and Dragons and you love to cosplay with others. Because it doesn't matter what other people think of your interests or hobbies or whatnot. What matters is that it makes you happy. So that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to share this video with others. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more like it, then without a doubt, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.